Welcome back to History with Liam, where a real historian guides you through parts of history you may have not heard about before. Today we're exploring the history of Christmas. Few holidays are as widely celebrated or as culturally influential as Christmas. For more than a millennium and a half, December the 25th and its surrounding season has stood at the centre of Christian worship, Western cultural life, and a vast network of customs, stories, music, food, and traditions. Yet the history of Christmas is much more complicated than a birthday celebration for Jesus of Nazareth. It is a story that winds through ancient midwinter festivals, early Christian theological debates, medieval liturgies, Victorian reinvention, and the rise of a modern global holiday economy. In this video, we're going to explore that long and intricate story, how Christmas came to be, what shaped its development, the important changes that occurred over time, and why it looks the way it does today. Before Christianity ever placed a feast day on December 25th, Midwinter was already a time of celebration throughout the ancient world. Across cultures, the winter solstice, the shortest day and longest night of the year, was a moment of deep symbolism. The return of light, the renewal of agricultural cycles, and the hope of warmer days all shaped ancient customs. Societies marked this transitional time with feasting, rituals, and communal gatherings. The Roman festival that most famously influenced later Christmas customs was that of Saturnalia, celebrated from December the 17th to the 23rd. Saturnalia was a time of social inversion and license. Masters served slaves, gifts exchanged hands, gambling was permitted, and public festivities filled the streets. Although Christmas is not simply pagan Saturnalia rebranded, as is sometimes claimed, early Christians did live in a world where December was already festive, making the date fertile ground for a new Christian celebration. Another Roman festival, the birthday of the unconquered sun god, was celebrated on December 25th during the later Roman Empire. Some scholars argue that early Christians selected December 25th to contrast Christ, the Son of Justice, with the imperial cult of the sun. Others argue that the date came from Christian theological calculations, which we'll get to shortly. Regardless, December in Rome was a month dense with meaning, symbolism, and celebration. This cultural environment set the stage for the emergence of Christmas. The earliest Christians did not actually celebrate Christmas. For the first 2 centuries, Christian communities emphasized the death and resurrection of Christ, not his birth. Birthdays in general carried pagan associations, and early Christian writers often discouraged celebrating them. Instead, the Paschal Feast, Easter, was the core of Christian worship. By the late 2nd and early 3rd centuries, Christian theologians began to reflect more systematically on the life of Christ, including his incarnation, the belief that the eternal Word became flesh. This theological deepening contributed to a growing interest in the significance of Christ's birth, which naturally raised the question, when was Jesus born? Contrary to popular myths, the December 25th date did not simply appear as a pagan adoption. Many early Christian writers calculated Jesus' conception as occurring at the spring equinox, March 25th. From there, a 9-month count brought them to December 25th. This logic stood alongside parallel Eastern Christian traditions that placed the Nativity on January the 6th, a date now preserved in the Feast of the Epiphany. The earliest firm evidence for December 25th as a Christian feast comes from a Roman calendar from the year 336. By the late 4th century, the celebration of Christmas had spread throughout the Roman Empire, though the East continued using January the 6th for some time. Christmas had arrived, but the way in which it was celebrated would continue to evolve. As Christianity spread through Europe, it encountered diverse cultures with their own winter traditions. Christmas became both a religious feast and a cultural tapestry of customs. By the 6th and 7th centuries, the Church had developed an annual liturgical cycle. Christmas gained prominence as the culmination of the Advent season, which prepared believers for the mystery of the Incarnation. The days following Christmas also gained feasts: St. Stephen's Day, the Feast of the Holy Innocents, and the Feast of the Holy Family in later centuries. As As Northern Europe embraced Christianity, local customs embedded themselves into Christmas practice. These included evergreen decorations, symbolising enduring life, Yule log traditions from Germanic cultures, feasting and drinking customs, and gift-giving rituals associated with local saints or chieftains. These customs did not replace Christian meaning, but joined with it, giving Christmas a uniquely rich and varied cultural texture. In the early medieval period, Saint Nicholas, a 4th century bishop known for charity, became associated with gift-giving. His feast day on December the 6th developed traditions of giving presents to children. In the following centuries, these customs would merge with Christmas practices, influencing the eventual creation of Santa Claus. During the medieval period, Christmas blossomed into a season of elaborate liturgy, drama, and public festivity. Christmas masses grew increasingly ceremonial. Gregorian chant, candlelight, processions, and special readings highlighted the solemnity of the feast. Churches staged elaborate reenactments of the Nativity, precursors to modern nativity scenes. One of the most enduring medieval contributions came from St. Francis of Assisi, who in 1223 brought together villagers, animals, and clergy to create a living recreation of the Nativity. This moment popularised the practice of displaying creches or nativity scenes in Christian homes and churches. Medieval Europe also produced Christmas mystery plays, dramatic retellings of biblical events like the Annunciation, the Shepherd's Visits, and Herod's Rage. These plays were communal events that reinforced Christian teaching while also providing entertainment. Christmas was not solely a religious feast, however, and it was also still a period of merriment. The line between sacred celebration and public revelry was often thin. The Protestant Reformation of the 16th century profoundly reshaped Christian liturgical and cultural life, and Christmas felt the impact of this. Many reformers, particularly in Puritan traditions, rejected feast days as not explicitly biblical. Christmas, they argued, lacked scriptural evidence and had absorbed too many papist or pagan customs. As a result, Christmas was abolished in Scotland in 1560. Puritan England outlawed Christmas celebrations in 1647, and in colonial America, Massachusetts banned Christmas festivities in 1659. Christmas then became a site of conflict between differing visions of Christian practice. Other Protestant groups, especially Lutherans and Anglicans, retained Christmas with enthusiasm, however. Martin Luther himself fostered Christmas carols and emphasised the joy of the Nativity. Anglican England, after the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, revived Christmas customs that had been suppressed. The result was a divided Protestant world, some celebrating Christmas with vigour, others with suspicion. If the Middle Ages gave Christmas its symbolic richness, then the 19th century gave it the form we recognise today. The Industrial Revolution transformed family structures, work schedules, and urban life. Amid these social changes, Christmas became a desirable opportunity to celebrate moral virtue and social goodwill. Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol played a monumental role in redefining Christmas. Dickens emphasised themes of charity, family, compassion, and redemption, and his portrayal of Christmas as a season of generosity helped revive the holiday in industrial Britain and influence its global image. The Christmas tree tradition, rooted in Germanic practice, spread widely in the 19th century, especially after Queen Victoria and Prince Albert made it fashionable in Britain. Newspapers published illustrations of the royal family around their Christmas tree, and the custom rapidly became a staple of Christmas decor throughout the English-speaking world. Many beloved Christmas carols, such as Silent Night, also gained widespread popularity in this period. Public carolling, charity drives, and community celebrations became hallmarks of a season that was increasingly associated with social harmony and kindness. Christmas then evolved into both a religious observance and a family-centred cultural holiday. The 20th century witnessed Christmas becoming a global cultural phenomenon. Radio, film, and later television helped spread Christmas imagery worldwide. Films like It's a Wonderful Life and music by Bing Crosby shaped the emotional tone of the holiday. Advertising campaigns, most famously by Coca-Cola, solidified the visual style of Santa Claus as well. With rising consumer culture, Christmas became deeply tied to retail cycles. Gift-giving, once a modest custom, expanded dramatically. The holiday season became central to Western economies, with decorations, toys, and holiday sales dominating markets. World War I and II also left their mark on the celebrations. Stories like the 1914 Christmas Truce illustrated Christmas's power to evoke shared humanity even amid conflict. Soldiers abroad celebrated Christmas with improvised services, carols, and small exchanges of gifts. After World War II, Christmas grew into a key moment of family identity. The rise of suburban life, home decoration trends, and children's media tied Christmas firmly to themes of home, peace, and childhood wonder. Today, Christmas is celebrated worldwide in diverse ways. Even in countries where Christianity is a minority religion, Christmas has gained cultural presence, sometimes as a secular holiday focused on family, gift-giving, or winter celebrations. In Japan, for instance, Christmas is often seen as a romantic holiday. Other Christian countries have expanded the season. In the Philippines, it has become a months-long celebration filled with music, parades, and religious devotion. Modern Christmas also sees ongoing cultural and religious debates. Should Christmas be primarily religious or secular? How commercialized is too commercialized? How should society navigate multicultural identities while preserving tradition? These debates echo earlier controversies in a new context. Contemporary concerns over sustainability have also touched Christmas. Movements promoting minimalism, handmade gifts, or environmentally friendly trees seek to harmonise tradition with modern ethics. The Christmas we know today is the product of a long and rich evolution, a blend of ancient festivals, medieval creativity, and modern reinvention. At its heart lies a story of humanity's search for light, literal and spiritual, in the darkest time of the year. For Christians, Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ, the incarnation of God entering into human history. For many others, it represents community, generosity, family, and the beauty of tradition. For societies around the world, it has become a season that blends sacred remembrance with cultural expression. Understanding the long history of Christmas not only enriches our appreciation of the season, but also reminds us that traditions are living things. They grow, adapt, and change with every generation. Christmas, in all its forms, continues to be a celebration of hope, warmth, and enduring human creativity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more History with Liam.